Hello everyone, my name is Joel Galvante. I'm from Section D and I will be reporting about the summary of editing communication materials from Module 4, Part 8. Now, before we formally start our discussion about the editing of communication materials, let's look at the following objectives. Number 1, understand the importance of editing. Number 2, determine the types, tools, and marks of an editor. For 3, editing do's and don'ts plus practical tips. And number 4, what makes a good editor? Now, for this discussion, I will only be providing a short snippet of all the discussion points in Module 4. If you want a more detailed discussion, you can check out my classmates' discussion based on their assigned reports. To start off, I would like to share first a quote from one of our reference books in our module titled Working with Words, the following quote. It says here that a good editor is someone who has learned to read while constantly asking, do I know with certainty that this is right? I hope this quote allows you to think of how and why editing is important in our study as DevCom practitioners. Now, what is editing? According to our book, editing is the rewriting or revising of a manuscript to make it acceptable for public presentation or publication. Now, for editing, we look for three things, which I summary. Number one, checking for grammatical or typographical errors. Number two, clearing up words for better understanding. And number three, fact checking details and claims. When we're editing a material, it is important to not only just check for its readability, but also check its correctness, because a small misspelling can affect how our reader will respond to our message. It may affect the reader's trust in our writing if we have shown too many lapses in our manuscript. Now, there are two types of editing. There's mechanical editing and there's substantive editing. When we look at mechanical editing, it says here that it looks at the technical aspects of a copy, meaning correcting grammar, spelling, and maintaining the style of the publication. While substantive editing looks at the overall organization of ideas and looks at the material with the lens of the audience. Now, when we look at editing and its types, do we only choose one between the two? The answer is we use both. We use these two types to create a complete material. Mechanical editing shows that we provide our audience with authentic information through correct grammar and spelling. Substantive editing, however, allows us to convey our message through readability. Now, what does a copy editor do? A copy editor is responsible for the checking of the final material before publication. Now, a copy editor uses three steps in order to look if the material is ready to be publicized. For these methods, we can look at it as number one, is it readable, accessible, and newsworthy to the intended readers? Number two, is it error free or does it follow our publication style? And number three, is it concise enough? Can we trim the fat and leave only the meat in the story? After these three methods has been checked, we can also look at marking up the copy. For marking up the copy, we look at the material if it looks good when printed. How will it appear on paper once it's published? By using these three-step methods, we are able to fully check if our material is ready to be consumed by our intended readers. Now, what tools does an editor use? Of course, an editor is not an all knowing person, so oftentimes they may need some references and some books to help them in editing. Now, for this discussion, we will be looking at five tools that are commonly used by an editor. Number one, a dictionary, which helps in spelling and the correct word usage. Number two, a style book for abbreviations, punctuations, and citing of sources. Number three, a thesaurus, proper usage of synonyms and antonyms, appropriate words for specific contexts are checked here. Number four, book of idiomatic expressions, or if we are using the right idioms. And number five, almanacs, and encyclopedias for fact checking information provided. Now, in this day and age, we are also looking at emerging tools in editing. There are also AI tools for correcting grammar and fact checking information, and also some online editing software for easier layouting of publication materials. How does an editor correct mistakes in spelling, punctuation marks, or use of words? Now, an editor uses the marks or copywriting marks. These copywriting marks help streamline the process in editing as they are precise and easily understood by copywriters. Through the marks of an editor, the editor is able to check and recheck the materials until it is in perfect condition, and the readers can fully understand the message that is presented by the writer. Now, an editor doesn't just look for errors in spelling and in punctuation marks, they also look for correctness in grammar and style. Now, our book has presented us with 12 common errors that are given by the University of Wisconsin Writing Center. You can check out the link provided in the book, or you can check the link here in this discussion point. Now, we also look at the APA style, which helps us cite properly our sources. Checking for errors is a constant battle. Thus, being equipped with the right information and knowing the most common mistakes in writing helps raise flags for ease of correction. Now, here are some practical tips for an editor. Number one, read the material. Number two, make corrections clear. Number three, talk with the author. Number four, think about the reader. Number five, take notes immediately if you want to correct something. Number six, be consistent in style. Number seven, don't over edit. Number eight, double check everything. Nine, once done, check with your author again. And number 10 is be thorough. There are many practical tips that can be checked through our module, but these are the most succinct practical tips that we can provide a soon to be editor. Now, what are the qualities of a good editor? Number one, a good editor needs to be thorough. They need to review all aspects of the manuscript. Number two, they need to be patient. They don't settle for less and takes time to see every detail that is written in the manuscript. Number three, they also need to be open minded. They need to understand the POV of the author and they can also think outside the box. Number four, they need to be resourceful, able to check for various sources for the truth. And number five, they need to be a clear thinker. They need to be rational in approaching new ideas and be able to look at information with a clear mind. Now that is it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my module reporting. Before I end this video, I would like to first share a powerful quote from a well known editor across the world. I would like to share this quote by Maria Ressa on how to stand up to the dictator, the fight for our future. She is a CEO and executive editor of Rappler and a Nobel Prize winner. She said in her book that without facts, you can't have the truth. Without truth, you can't have trust. Without all three, we have no shared reality, and democracy as we know it and all meaningful human endeavors are dead. I hope this quote inspires you to take up any forms of injustice and use whatever we have learned here in DevCom to fight for our democracy. Now, to end this video, I would like to give you the following questions. Number one, should we embrace the emerging tools in editing, such as AI tools? What are its pros and cons? And number two, as DevCom practitioners, how do we maintain the integrity of writing and messaging in our materials if we are required to simplify it for our intended readers? For instance, people living in underdevelopment. Kindly explain your answer like an editor. I hope through these questions, we're able to practice what we've learned in this module discussion. Thank you so much, everyone.